Hello everybody! Welcome to art class today. We are going to be painting our backgrounds. So I'm going to show you what I've got. I've got my messy mat, my paper, a paintbrush, my tray that I'm sharing with my table mates that has a sponge and some water, paint tray. Now today you're going to choose between hot or cold colors. So my cold colors here are green, blue, and purple or violet. I also have a white in case I want to add some of that. And I've got my table caddy. I'm at the yellow table, so I have the yellow table caddy. I'm going to grab a pencil. First step is to write my name on my paper on the back. I'm going to write it pretty lightly. And I'm also going to write my class code. Your class code is your probably the first letter of your teacher's name. So if I was in Miss McNally's class, I would write M for McNally, and then my grade level, which is 3. So you could write it M3 or you could write it 3M. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I've got my name and my class code on the back. I'm going to flip it over. So now I'm going to start painting. With my paintbrush, I'm going to dip it in the water first, and if it's too wet, I can always give it a swipe on my sponge. Now I do not smush my brush into my sponge, I just swipe it across. Alright, so now my paintbrush is damp and it's ready for some paint. I'm going to swirl my paintbrush hair in my paint. I'm going to start with the color green. I'm swirling it around. You could also make crisscross X's or a swirl. Once my paintbrush hair changes color, so now the paintbrush hair is green, I'm going to start going back and forth on my paper. So I'm going to go from one side to the other side. I'm noticing that my paint is a little dry. I need to add some water. There we go. Going back and forth and back and forth. Alright. I've started at the top and now I'm going to keep going down. If I want to switch colors, I can just rinse my brush, give it a little swipe on my sponge, go back to a new color, swirl it around. Don't need a lot of water for these paints, as long as your paintbrush hair is wet. Alright, so now my hair is blue. I'm going to go back and forth. If your paint is spotty like that, you can dip it in the water and add a little more water. So when I'm changing colors, I'm going to blend it with that first color. So the way I do it is I add some more water to my brush and I swipe back and forth where those two colors meet. I'm noticing my blue's a little darker than my green right now, so I'm going to go back to green. Now I'm going to swipe that color on top of my blue, just in that spot where they meet. So now we have green and blue together, so it's making kind of a bluish dark green. You can blend it as much or as little as you want. Alright, so now it fades from green into blue. We're trying to make a skyish color. I'm trying to make a skyish color for my background. I'm going to add some purple now. The purple and blue blend really nicely together. I'm going to make sure that I fill my whole paper with color. Alright, I'll show you guys how that looks when I'm all done. Okay guys, I just want to show you on my palette, I'm dipping my brush in my blue and I'm just adding some more swipes of blue onto my purple. Alright you guys, I think that's pretty much it. See how the colors blend from green to blue to purple? Just keep adding layers of color until you like how it looks. When you're all done, make sure you put your paper on the drying rack and then you can move on to the next step.